As for my dad, I really credit him for helping me and allowing me to explore things on my own. He always trusted that I could do things myself. And if I needed that help, that he was there for support as well. He was big in ensuring that we always knew the why of any situation and explored that ourselves. So I need to get his approval for anything, whether it was going out to the camping or to a dance. He always made sure that we were prepared by facts. And I had the data when I was approaching him to be able to have that conversation. And now I understand that he was actually preparing me to be a critical thinker, in my adulthood. My mom, Mama Cusero, always a warrioress in our family. She was a fighter, rebel, and still is. And she's very strong, but she has such a kind heart. She's taught us a strong work ethic that no matter what task and situation that we were given, we always showed up 100% with a joyous attitude. And, it was either that or don't show up at all. That was her main motto. She's a strong believer of higher education, so sacrificed quite a bit for me and my siblings to have one. In Kenya, it was a privilege to really have a good education, and not everybody could afford school fees. So I was really, really lucky to have had that and even had international education. So we were so proud when she finally went back to school and, able to get her degree in community health just a few years ago, actually, in the States. So she is amazing. She's taught me about being self-aware, have humility, that compassion, and provide the tools to stay positive as well as, to serve in this situation. So as far as my education goes, and this is how I make the connection to Canada, when I, in Africa, like I can't speak for most African parents. Parents want their children to be either a lawyer, a doctor, or an engineer, right? And so my parents say, because I'm a natural in debating and loved to play the devil's advocate, they thought a career in law is where I would thrive, hence my law background. So I was off to college to legal studies, great experience. I was able to really learn how to generate conversations, which can be sometimes uncomfortable, but can ultimately strengthen that knowledge, encourage collaboration, and as a result, encourage that diversity of perspectives. And I'm really thankful for that experience because it's really helped me, especially when I'm in a different country and being able to see that other side. And I believe sometimes, I believe that's what Elder Patrick was talking to us about the other day, about that sanctified kindness piece, where, you get to see both pieces. So I was missing that passion, I was missing that calling. And my mom sensed that, and so I was sent to Canada to follow my passion, which was amazing. And I was able to, reach, the stars, or, what she says, your calling, what you are actually meant to do. So when I talk to mentees, a lot of times I'm just usually looking at them and saying, are you in a job because it pays a check, or is it a job that you actually love and you feel like challenged every time that you sort of go in. So I landed in Halifax as an international student, got to 2 degrees from Mount St. Vincent University, but I'm also very proud to say the university just didn't give me a degree, they also gave me my wonderful husband, Chris, who, depending on who you ask, we kind of stopped each other in the library and they were able to meet that way. So he did make me stay. We have 2 wonderful boys together, and we moved to Calgary in 2015 because he got transferred here. I was looking for career growth as well, and it was the best move that we ever made it, when we moved here as well. So in terms of like mentorship, I think everybody should have a mentor. It doesn't matter what age you are, because I think it's great to have those experiences where you continuously learning, and some things are just not in books or in a course, but having people who are in your corner usually helps quite a bit. So the tips that I have for myself in terms of like what my success has been was I always encourage my mentees, and when I meet with my mentees, is like, please take time to know who you are, right? Because a lot of times we come in, and because we do not know who we are, we show up in front of an employer and we ask for anything as a job, right? I just want to get my foot in there. I just want anything. And it's hard for the employer to be able to see those particular skills. So it's really important that we showcase and know inside out the skills, the competencies, the knowledge, our interests on and who we are. So when we arrive at an interview, we are able to showcase that as well. So that's something that I usually encourage most of the mentees that I have with me. Something that has worked for me as well, and I credit that to the story I was telling you about my mom, in terms of like, she always said, arrive somewhere with a joyous attitude, right? Stay positive. At the same time, if you're not going to do something, do it 100%, don't do it at all. And that's why I always tell, and even with my teams, I always tell them, like, let's fall in love with the solutions, not the problems, right? So when for mentees, the way I look at this and provide that as a tip for them, I say, when you show up at the interview, just make sure that you understand what that employer is looking for in terms of like, what is the problem that they are having right now and how you can solve that for them. When I moved to Calgary, I realized very quickly that who you know will help you grow, right? It's a very connected community, and people know each other. People are so willing to help one another. So one of the things that that I found is just having those conversations, opening myself to having those conversations. I'm looking for work. I've recently moved here. This is the direction that I am willing to go. Really, really helps me in terms of growing in my career. That's actually how I met Bruce from Cryac, from a conversation and having another person and getting into Cryac and seeing what Cryac does, meeting my current employer in one of the community partnership meetings that we had in office when it was in person. And, then it went that way. Then we get introduced to the next person, to the next person. And the next thing you know, I'm here, I have a job. And this was just, 5 months into coming into Calgary. I made an effort to meet 5 new people every week. And I think that really, really helped a lot of mentees in terms of like opening those doors where those jobs, they're not really posted. They just know somebody who's hiring. It's easy to transition that way. So, who will really help you grow. And I actually do a workshop sometimes in the Calgary Public Library and teaching a lot of the mentees or newcomers or people who are just interested in learning how to network, how to do this, because it's really, really important for that success. Finding a mentor is key. That's actually how I fell in love with my career as a career developer. I had a terrible resume from Kenya, and I went for an interview and I met a really good lady there, because my resume from Kenya had everything but the kitchen sink, right? You have everything. You have your age, your SIN numbers, your middle name, your tribe. It had just a lot at that time. So she was able to take me aside and say, hey, you didn't get the job. However, I have an opportunity. I think that not only will you be able to do, and it was a Workopolis school marketing officer at the school. And one of the things that she did was she took me under her wing. She taught me how to do career coaching, as well as resume critiques and all that. And that's how I fell in love with career development, because I started working at the Career Planning Center, and that's where I found my calling, right? And to date, she's still my mentor, because she's a career counselor herself, and she has really, really helped me when I had questions, when I had places I was struggling with, like a client. She was able to help me with us. And in here at Manpower too, I had amazing mentors. I have my boss, Heidi, who's a fierce female leader, and she is just so good at what she does. She has a lot of integrity, and I learn from her all the time. And I also have our VP our VP as well, on corporate, who is just amazing individual. He's the mentor you want in your corner when you want to learn candid ways of growing. Like he tells me as it is, it challenges me, he pushes me, he strengthens me, and makes sure that I am doing the very best that I can every day. So he's somebody who sees when I'm getting really comfortable at what I'm doing and able to push me into that other level. And I think for mentees, like we all need something like that, because it's very easy to get complacent in all that we are doing. I think the next point is creating your own personal board of directors. This was really, really something that I was taught by a good friend of mine. His name is Richard Booker. He always say, have people who are in your corner, and your personal board of directors can be in your network, can be part of your mentors as well, but they're also like people who are out there who are really looking out for you in terms of like your career growth, but also like different opportunities as well. In there, I have my parents, I have my husband, because my husband is amazing when he does, if I have to do interviews, he's the type of person I'll go and practice my interview with, because he has such a poker face, and then he's able to tell me like ways I can improve and ways I can also like grow. The LinkedIn is one thing that I see is huge in the job market right now. I look at our company here, and I find we have our staffing side, and the recruiters are constantly on LinkedIn, just looking at different people that they can showcase to their clients, and be able to say, this individual here has this particular skill, this person here has this particular experience, will be a great fit for your company as well. So let's, like for mentees, I tell them, please don't underestimate the power of that. But if you're to also have a LinkedIn as well, just make sure it's 100% good. Like it's the in case somebody is to present it to somebody, that you will be comfortable that it's showcasing all the skills and experiences that you need as well. In terms of professional development programs, I always encourage people, just because you have landed a job, keep yourself in the know. What's happening in your industry? There are a lot of tools right now, especially after COVID. We learned about all these free webinars, all these free Zoom events that people are attending, that we can grow. So it's no longer just a situation of where it's not accessible or you have to pay such a huge fee for it. There are a lot of courses that are out there that people can, really utilize them and sort of grow. I believe in luck. I believe in being in the right place at the right time. And I usually do talk to mentees about that. I actually remember one of the mentees that I actually have from CRIAC, and she was introduced to me by CRIAC. We had a conversation. On the day we had a conversation, I knew somebody within my team who was looking for exactly someone like her, right? So in that case, there's the luck part that she was there, and there was a luck that there was an opportunity that was there, and I connected the two of them and I said, please have a conversation, because the two of you can make a lot of magic. You're going to be a powerhouse, in terms of like the jobs that she was looking for this person to be doing as well. So it was really, really nice. I do believe in that, but I also believe that sometimes if you feel like, it's not really lucky there, you can create your own luck, right? And that's by understanding the different skills you have, the different competencies you have, the knowledge, the interests. If you understand that, it's easy to be able to go and carve out a job for yourself. And if you understand what the employer's problems are, it's easy to go in and say like, look, I know we can do this for you, and I think I can provide a solution to the problem that you are having right here. So Manpower Alberta has two divisions, right? I'll share them, each of them in terms of like what they do. So we do have the staffing and recruitment side, and we do have the workforce development side. I am housed in the workforce development side, but we also work very closely with our staffing and recruitment side, especially when we are looking at what's happening in the labor market, right? What's employers really looking for, and being in the know of that. So we do work closely together in those collaborations. So when it comes to the staffing and recruitment side, we do have two divisions. We do have the professional side and what we call the traditional and administrative side. So the traditional administrative, they will hire like admin, and there will also have, there's also opportunities for general labor. On our professional team side, we have opportunities in IT, engineering, finance, business services, human resources, sales, marketing, communications, and sometimes executive searches as well. So that would be on the staffing side, and it'll fall under manpower professional umbrella. So in terms of like the company, we've been there for over 60 years of experience collaborating with job seekers as well as employers to achieve career success. For job seekers, we do have amazing recruitment specialists. They have vast experience working in various industries and companies in Alberta. They're uniquely qualified to help mentees accomplish their career goals. We are a people-first company, so we usually take pride in providing opportunities where it's a match for both, the job seeker as well as the employer, right? If we find like this, it's not going to be a fit, we wouldn't be able to place that person there because we know that, it won't work overall. So our clients, like who are the job seekers, it's all about the right person for the right role is what we go by to make sure that both parties are, really successful in their long-term career goal as well. So it's something that we do. We are very people first in that way. For employers, what we usually do is, I'm just going to move here, sorry. We help employers, with, whether it's advice or understanding what is happening in the talent shortages, looking at ways that we can close those gaps and hire quality candidates. So in terms of employers, I think one of the terms we usually say is, we are manufacturers of talent, right? So just understanding what's happening in the labor market, understanding what's coming down in the labor market, what's currently happening right now. And for the last 3 years, we've known that that can change within a day. I think everybody has March 16th or 17th imprinted in their mind on how fast things changed. So, it's just making sure that we help, employers like understand what is really happening right now, understand how to confidently close that skill gap and, get them the right person for the right role that they are looking for as well. Some of the other things that we support Albertans with is, sometimes we have job seekers who are missing some tickets or something that is being a barrier to them in terms of like finding that employment. And also like for employers, they may want to hire somebody, but they are missing a certain certification. So we also work with our team in training and safety. They are able to consult and provide any questions or answer any questions that may be able to regard whether it's anything to do with forklift, wireless, fall arrest, H2 safety. If they have any questions around that and how to keep their employees safe, that we're able to do that. We also work with candidates and employers to develop some of those core internal safety certificates for workplace that is safe, healthy, and productive as well. So those are some of ways we also would provide support to employers, as well as
Angela, sorry, I just wanted to interrupt on that one point there, because we have noticed there has been a large increase in mentees looking for work in the OHS, HSC fields.
Yeah.
And as it's been explained to me, as more sort of projects are taken on in Alberta, OHS is one of the first steps that's involved in being able to start the projects. You need that done.
Yeah.
So we have noticed, as far as CRAC goes, on our mentee facing side, we have had more applicants looking for those types of areas. So this would be a great tool. Sorry to interrupt. I know that's a needed area right now.
No worries at all. And also when it comes to the different programs, which I'll be talking to you in a little bit, some of the government funded free programs also have opportunities where they can pay for some of those exposure courses or short-term training that job seekers are lacking, and that's the gap between them getting a job and getting to to the other side, to having a career. And also, like, I know with Alberta we have a lot of shutdowns, so sometimes they need to keep some of those tickets really current, and sometimes that the paying for those courses sometimes is a factor. So we work with both client side on the programming side, and we also work with employers in helping them understand how their employees can be able to attain those tickets and ensure that everybody is safe in those environments where they're working. All right, so we're going to move over to my stomping grounds, which is the workforce development side, which is the other side of our business. And in there, we have about 13 programs across Alberta. My area is Calgary and Airdrie, so Calgary South regions. So in there, I manage 5 programs, and I'll let you know in a little bit like what each one of them does, and how we could help mentees be able to have access to that. So the first one is Career Leap. And my Career Leap program is in all the regions, but in Calgary South regions, it's actually located in Airdrie, right? And then in Calgary, I have Tech Careers cybersecurity program, and that is a cybersecurity training program that is dedicated to immigrants specifically. So it's a cybersecurity training for immigrants program. And then we have Tech Careers Data Analyst program, which is also run from Calgary. And then we have the Fintech program, and Empower Women in Trades program is also in Calgary. At the moment, Empower is on a pause, but we're just waiting for the next steps with that program. But all of the others are really active right now, and they're continuously having intake. We have Redia we have Career Leap in Redia, and Career Moves in Redia as well as Powering Trades. And then in Edmonton, we also have Career Leap, Training for Work, and in Fort Mac, we have Career Leap and Career Leap. So a lot of times people may wonder what workforce development programs are, but we are funded by the government, mostly by the Ministry of Labor and Immigration, and our programs are there to provide job placement services for those who are having difficulty entering work, right? So we support and train unemployed individuals. It can be anything from entry level to professionals, as long as people are ready, willing, and able, ready and motivated to find a full-time employment as quickly as possible, right? And sometimes when we're doing our assessments, sometimes we'll find people are not ready just yet, that they may have other barriers that may not enable them to attain full-time employment really quickly. One of the things that we do in those particular cases, we will provide them the resources and the tools that they can take care of this one thing that is being a barrier right now for them to be able to attain a job, a full-time job, and then we will move them to our programs once they are ready, right? Based on the eligibility requirements for each specific program. we never really turned anybody away. We always try and make sure that even if it's not us who are going to be able to help them, that we can refer or hand off to somebody else who will be able to take care of maybe those pieces that they might be missing. So we provide a friendly environment where they can conduct their job search and reach their employment goals. Lately, it's been mostly virtual, but there was a time where we were in person in class here, 5 days a week. It's only one program right now, which is in person, which is Fintech, and they just started on Monday after a long break just because of COVID and all that. And it was just amazing to see students, back in person. We find our clients are from diverse groups, right? They can be entry-level, professional, highly skilled, requiring degrees, other credentials. We have immigrants, we have youth, we have older workers, and we have indigenous community as well. So in terms of like the programs that we do have in Career Leap, in the South, we have Career Leap, we have Empower, we have Tech Careers. And in Tech Careers, we have 2 of them in there, like I mentioned, data analyst and cybersecurity. And we also have the Fintech program. So Career Leap started in 2017, and we deliver services to clients through contracts for the Career Leap transition to employment services, and it's under the Alberta Labor and Immigration, and they are Career Leap is in Edmonton, Adrie, and Fort Mac, and Red Deer. It supports those individuals who are entering the workforce, and they are highly skilled individuals, and they can also be transitioning or to other industries or occupations. The difference between the Career Leap program, you'll find compared to the other programs I'll be sharing with you in a little bit, is it is meant to be a transition to employment service. So, you don't have to be in a classroom for a number of weeks to get occupational skills before you find your work. You're supposed to attend, just the group workshops for a number of weeks, to ensure that you have that individualized career coaching and job search support. But as soon as that's done, you can start your work at any time. We provide unpaid work exposure. They provide short-term training. They also have that direct job matching with conversation that they would have with their job placement consultant, as well as the workshop facilitator. We provide support with job placements, job retention, and follow-up support. With that particular program, one of the things that we have noticed is, and with all the programs, it's not just about getting the job, because sometimes, you get the job, sometimes you go in, it's great, but it might not be the best fit, or you might go in and a client might be able to start having, difficulties within that environment. So in terms of job retention is, we're in constant communication with those participants, and, make sure that they have all the resources, all the tools that they have, so that, they're not getting fired, or if it's a situation where they just need to know how to communicate to the employer a little bit differently, or to negotiate, or to self-promote. We're in constant communications with them to make sure that they have that, so that they can, continuously have that opportunity to not only grow, but continue feeling challenged, but also to be in a space where they are feeling that they are actually, valued and appreciated, and can actually retain this job for a longer period of time. So we're able to provide that support for them in all the programs, and in constant communication with participants to make sure that they have that as well. And then our next program that I have here in Calgary is the Tech Careers program. They're 2 virtual programs, and they're also funded by the Ministry of Labor and Immigration. Our next class for data analytics actually starts on Monday. Data analytics, sorry about the typo there, training and foundation in analytics, as well as predictive analytic tools. It has probability statistics, and they are able to develop problems in business scenarios. They're able to answer business questions. They're able to predict opportunities and possibilities, and that includes data analysis, dimensional modeling, statistics using Python and machine learning, data literacy, and business analytics. The courses are delivered and developed by SAIT Canada, who is our partner there in education. And then we also have the Tech Careers Cybersecurity Training for Immigrants. The courses are developed and delivered by Retrain Canada. It's a leading edge training provider in cybersecurity. Employers provide input in learning, of course, along as we know with the work experience and job opportunities. And they offer 2 certifications, which is the certification in Cyber Foundation, as well as a certification in Cyber Foundation's quality assurance testing and applied penetration testing as well, right? Then we have Fintech Careers. It's also a non-cost government-funded program. Actually, all of them are, government-funded, so there's no cost to any of the participants. It's also designed with Retrain Canada and SAIT to provide technology-driven training to Albertans professionals who are pivoting into the financial services and fintech sector. One thing that we have found is fintech is exploding in terms of, as just as an industry, especially here in Calgary, we're getting a lot of things that are happening in the market, and we're also noticing that a lot of clients who are coming from that particular program are able to land positions fairly quickly, just because employers are really looking. We've had clients who have gone to one of the big 5 accounting firms, and one of the things that they say, like, this is exactly what we were looking. This is a piece that we were looking for in the course for some of our employees. So, like, especially with the cybersecurity basics. So cybersecurity is a big thing right now. And then they'll also learn emerging technologies in digital banking. They do get certificates in one of the 3 core training streams. So we have the banking service, customer service, and customer contact center. We have personal banking representative, as well as accounting and bookkeeping, some of the areas that clients can choose to pursue. For Empower, it is designed with SAIT. It's a program that's really, really dear to my heart, just because I've seen some of the things that it has done for the women who have participated in that program, and how many lives have been changed by just them participating in that program and getting into careers that, they wouldn't really have had a foot even in the door if they didn't really have this course. And, it just breaks down those barriers, and it assists them in exploring different career opportunities. And there are 5 trades that they go through, and then they can choose which direction they want to go to. So it'll be pipe fitting, we have plumbing, we have welding, carpentry, heavy equipment technician, as well as iron working as well. So it's such a great program, such a nice way to break those barriers, especially in the trades. And then we move to the workforce development programs in Central. So we have Career Leap, Career Moves, Powering Trade. We do have Career Leap and Training for Work, and Career Reach in the North as well. So for Central, we have Career Moves, and Career Moves was designed in partnership with Redia College to help unemployed and marginally employed individuals transition in that supply chain industry. It provides skills training and support to begin a career and secure entry-level employment in the supply chain sector as well. We have Powering Trades. It's also another no-cost government-funded training program. It's also designed in partnership with Redia Polytechnic to help unemployed and marginally employed Albertans with an interest in training and in entering the trade sector. The difference between Powering Trades and Empower Women in Trades is that with Powering in Trades, it's co-ed. it's in Radia, but with Women in Trades Empower program, it's just for women, right? So it also provides those skills training support to begin a career and secure entry-level employment in that trades industry as well. For the North, we have Training for Work program. It's also a non-cost program. It provides support to unemployed EI eligible Albertans, semi-skilled, but they need skills, to either get short-term skill development or workforce adjustment, right? They provide group-based workshops, individual coaching, networking opportunities, and also provide a lot of ongoing support to help job seekers get back into the market as soon as possible and acquire employment that is meaningful to them, and it's sustainable and they can see themselves there in a long time, right? So with all the programs, we help job seekers with their resumes, their cover letters, their interview preparations, their LinkedIn, short course access as well. Then we have also Career Reach, which is also another workplace training program. It is also government funded, and it provides employer delivered on the job training and work opportunities to a limited number of unemployed Albertans, especially those who are having difficulties in entering the workforce, either to limited or no experience or a lack of skills. So in the past, we've had maybe somebody who was interested in getting into fintech, but didn't know how to go about it, and the employer was looking for that as well. So we're able to do that match. Could be anything as Excel skills are lacking with a person, and providing some of those skills as well, and a training course like on the job with that, so that they can be able to continue to be successful in their employment as well, right? So that's how we can help on both sides. So we have the staffing side, and we have the program side, and that's where I can see that we can work with different, with mentees as well as mentors in terms of providing those resources as well. If you have any questions or anything like that, I'm always available. Jonathan, feel free to share my contact information, if they have questions. I may not always have all the answers, but I bet I can get somebody who will be able to provide you the information that you need or how to proceed. So that's how sort of we can help. So it's just not just about staffing, workforce development, but you also have that full cycle of human resources services that Manpower does provide as well. And that's it from my end. I don't know if there are any questions. I haven't been looking at the chat, but
so I would just like to share at this point that we will have a recording of the session that will be available on the CRIAC website. Okay, there's a lot of information in there, and if you have any particular questions related to certain programs, we will have the details on the website with contact points for Manpower as well, and you can contact us at CRIAC. And I just wanted to thank Angela, and just for a little background here, the first session that I ever did with CRIAC, when I started working for CRIAC, was with Manpower, with Bruce and Angela. So for me, this session is exciting just to see how everything sort of comes together in ways that you might not necessarily expect. I didn't realize when I was doing my first day with CRIAC that I would meet Angela and we would go on to do some projects together. So this fits into, the points Angela's making about anytime we can get where we can do events, sessions like this, where we can connect and have some discussion or meet new people. It's a great tool for us to use with mentees on their search. I would like to thank Angela. Thank you very much for all that information. I know we had people asking, okay, so what kind of programs are available? And this one, it shows us some good options that are available in OHS, HSE, also in the tech sector, and some options that people can use to expand their skills within Canada that they can then use on their resumes and in their job search. So thank you so much, Angela. Really am excited that we kind of, as I mentioned, have gotten around to this point where now I have you doing a presentation for CRIAC. It makes me so happy.